like the beginning of the week. It's a Monday, and I decided that I want to make everyone aware of what my sad, pathetic little week looks like. So yeah, I don't have like literally anything going on Mondays, but it's a personal goal of mine to still like get out of my dorm anyways. Just because like I don't know, I feel like maybe locking myself in my dorm for 3 days in a row every week is not good for me. Perhaps. But it's for snow this season. I'm feeling holly, I'm feeling jolly. The snow is like immediately melting as it hits the ground, so it's really wet. Awesome and cool. So yeah, since I don't have anything going on today, I'm planning on doing some shopping and then also probably going to the library to work on my essay. Slay. I fucking hate writing. I just missed my train. It's not even real winter yet, and I'm realizing how much I'm gonna be suffering this whole winter walking to class and to the train and trying to get around. I do have my pumpkin hat though, that's kind of cute. So yeah, I basically refused to take the buses at all in my city, so I had to take the train downtown and transfer because I had to find the one Walmart that is right next to a train station. And I went there specifically because I realized Walmart was going to have all their Christmas sweaters out, and I need Christmas sweaters. And then I went back downtown to go to the library there. I really love the downtown library, it's like my favorite. And then I didn't end up writing, I just did some assigned reading, which took quite a while anyway still, but yeah, and then I went back to my dorm. Instead of writing my essay, I'm taking a holly jolly festive walk. Listen, I know you're like probably sick of me talking about winter and Christmas, but it's fucking winter out! Yeah! I'm so excited. Best season. It's just, you can't argue with me. It's just literally the best. It's so beautiful out. And I'm so happy. And when I got back, I ended off my day with more assigned reading.
It's now Tuesday, it's still snowing, yes, except now I'm just realizing that my choice to not bring a blow dryer for my hair, because I was like, I'm not gonna need it. I have to walk to class in the snow. My hair is soaking wet. I'm going to die. Also fit check. Because I'm one of those horrible, horrible people that wears Christmas shit before it's even Halloween. Oh my god, this sidewalk is so icy, I'm having to go so slow, and I have 15 minutes to get to class. I really hope I can make it. Yeah, on Tuesdays I have art history in the mornings, and in class that day we were learning about late antiquity, like the early Christian art, which was really cool, it was interesting. I'm usually interested in the stuff we learn in art history, because it's just not anything that I've ever really been taught before. Nobody really talks about art history unless you're specifically in an art history class, which is kind of a bummer because it's all really, really interesting and it tells you a lot about the culture of the time. Then I went to go check on my ceramics because I was hoping some of my pieces had been fired. Only my test tiles had been, which was pretty disappointing. I had stuff due that I wanted to work on. So instead, I decided to draw in my sketchbook for a little bit until my next class started. Yeah, and my second class on Tuesdays is painting. We're starting a new assignment that's like the second half of the semester, sort of more collaging, more mixed media stuff. So I got some watercolor paper and I was just using a bunch of acrylics to make different colors and stuff on it. It's not something I'm super familiar with doing, but it's fun to experiment with. My phone died and it ruined the vibe so much not having music that I just left class 2 hours early. Then I ended up going to the dollar store to pick up some of that plastic wrapping paper stuff to use in my mixed media assignment. And then the rest of my night was actually miserable. I had to finish a whole essay. It was a bibliography and proposal for my final essay, and I was up so late working on it. I was so tired and I almost missed class because I slept in the next day. Yeah, I didn't get to sleep until like 3:36, but more like 4 a.m. Ah, fuck me, my class starts at 9 a.m. It is 9 a.m. I woke up at 8:45 and it takes like 15 minutes to get out of my dorm, get to class, or get to the school and then get up to the class. Shit. Against all odds, I made it to class. It's a miracle. And then after that, I checked the ceramic studio. Some of my stuff was bisque fired, some of it had just come out of the glaze fire like that. It wasn't supposed to look like that, but it's cool. And then my food assignment, it turned out weird and terrible, but it was done at least. It was ready for the critique we had on Friday. Also that plate, it got really messed up. I ended up finding out that it was because I used a stain that got really dusty on the surface of it, so the glaze didn't adhere to it, which was kind of a bummer. And then I was using clear glaze on this Asian fishing cat that I made. I did all the details in slip, so I just needed to put a clear glaze on it that hopefully does not get cloudy. I'm really bad at guessing how thick of a layer of glaze I should put on things, so everything I make keeps turning out really cloudy and gross looking. I also forgot to use a sponge to wipe off the dust on this, so I hope the glaze actually adheres to it properly. Then after that, I went down to the art studio at dorms to work more on my painting collage assignment. It was actually recommended that we did this assignment very abstract, and I think most people chose to, but I like to make things difficult for myself, so I decided to make it, I ended up doing an abstract background, but then there's also some figures in the foreground of it that I don't know how well they worked, but I feel like they make it look at least a little bit more interesting, and they were the most fun part of the project. I was not having fun with this. I was down in that art studio from 2:30 in the afternoon until almost midnight. I don't know what I was doing, I wasn't even working the entire time, but there was just so many steps where I had to stop and wait for things to dry, and then put something heavy on top of it so that all the paper didn't warp. All the paper did warp. The project got really wrinkly and messed up because the watercolor paper didn't like my acrylic and the glue, and the drawing board that I was putting everything on also didn't like the glue. So yeah, it's kind of safe to say that I'm not going to become a collage artist, but it's still fun to try stuff out sometimes. I might still do this every once in a while, but there's just a lot of paper waste, a lot of cutting, a lot of waiting, and it's thinking about things in a way that I usually don't, so it was kind of difficult for me. And that's part of the reason why I probably wasn't having much fun, because I'm so used to just painting normally that trying to do another method of paint work is just really, really weird. But I did get basically this whole thing finished in one night, which was a plus. It's Thursday, and usually on Thursdays I have art history in the mornings. I have it twice a week, but this week we get to go to an art gallery, or we get to choose an art gallery in the city to go to. So I get to do that instead of going to class, which is cool and awesome fun. Obligatory fit check. Slay. Me and some of my friends went to the Contemporary Calgary Museum. There was some neat stuff in there. There were a couple of different exhibits. The one we spent the most time in was this one with the crane. The crane machine. Oh my gosh, the most fun thing. I could not stack anything and I got too embarrassed to keep trying, but it was still fun. But yeah, all the stuff in this exhibit was pretty abstract. There was definitely meaning behind this stuff, but I think a lot of it went over my head. It was just so out there that it was hard to get anything from it, and I'm supposed to write on that. I don't know what I'm gonna write, and then I had to haul ass back to the school because I had drawing in the afternoon, and this was our last class of figure drawing in this semester, and I obviously cannot show any clips of me doing the figure drawing because there was a naked person in the room. We're not allowed to record. But this is some of the pieces I was working on during class. During one of the breaks I stopped and I flipped through all the pages. All these were fast. They were 30-second and 1 minute, or 1 minute and 2 minute. I forget which they were. Probably on the shorter side, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really love figure drawing. It's just something that is very familiar to me, lots of fun. And those are some 5-minute ones. And then I toned some paper for our last drawing of the day, which was a 20-minute one, which was a lot of fun. I've never done any sort of charcoal work on this kind of paper before, and that was what I made. And then these are what everyone in my class made. I took a little short video of just the different angles and everything. I love looking at stuff like this, like the way different people interpret the same pose at different angles. So cool. And then I also stopped by the painting floor to show, I wanted to show this, but that was my painting assignment that I meant to show on Wednesday. And then I was cutting out my collage assignment, like the edges are still rough, and I think cutting the edges made me like it a lot more. It's still not perfect, there's still some touch-ups I need to do, but that's what I'm working with for now. I do quite like the background. Then for the rest of the night, I was just drawing in my sketchbook. I was actually kind of frustrated, stuff wasn't turning out how I wanted. It was just not a fun time. And I forgot to record a clip for this day, but I had ceramics on Friday. It was just pretty simple stuff. We were just throwing cylinders, which we're going to repurpose to make, what do you call them? Pictures. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet, but it sounds interesting. I threw 4, only 2 worked. And then after this, we had a crit on our food project, which mine was not very good. But people were at least interested in the way it looked, even if they didn't think it looked like food. So yeah. Then my grandparents took me out for lunch. We got Italian, which was pretty fun. I didn't take any clips. And then after that, I went on a little walk. I'm just trying to go on a walk and there's some fucking freaks on the corner of the sidewalk talking about like fucking parents' rights, honk for freedom, Trudeau sucks, don't tread on me. It's like, girl, shut the fuck up. Anyways, city moment. The rest of my walk was uneventful after that. And then for the rest of the night, I worked on learning anatomy because that's just not something that like I'm actively being taught in school. I also had popcorn, that was good. But yeah, I realized that like if I want to learn anatomy for real, I'm just gonna have to actually teach it to myself, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's interesting. So I've been doing some anatomy practice this evening, and I feel like, I don't know, I never really bothered to learn this stuff before, but like, I can watch myself in real time understanding these forms, and it's really neat. And like, I can just, I don't know, the way I'm thinking about things, it's so different from what it normally is. It's just interesting. So yeah, that was like about all I did in a week. If you enjoyed this video somehow, for some reason, I don't know, like and subscribe. I don't really care. Goodbye.